everyone, it's us again. Okay. Today we are, I don't even know where I left my glasses. Anyways, today we are, oh, here they are. Oh boy. I just wanted to show you how we boil these veggie meat, the crumbles. It comes in a bag like I showed you the last time. This veggie meat comes dry. This vegetarian meat is made of soy and it comes in a bag and it's dry. So you have to dehydrate it. So this is about 2 cups of the dry with about 2-3 cups. You cover it with water, you boil it, and then you drain the water, and this is what you get. So you get quite a bit. So from 2 cups of dry, we got about maybe 4 cups of the already prepared. And now to season it, because some of them come with seasons. So you can buy them already with chorizo. I know Kellogg's has one that is made with chorizo that I still have to go and run and buy it. But this one comes with a very minimal seasoning. So probably like salt and some broth. Or doesn't have any seasoning. No, okay, Mom says has no seasoning. I always think that it comes a little with something, but not like a broth or something. But she says it doesn't come with any flavor. So what she's doing right now, we cut some onions and garlic, and this is about what? I mean, very little garlic. This is all the onions we have?
No, I have 4 garlics there.
Okay, 4 garlics and maybe like a half an onion in here, okay? So we're gonna put a little oil and then we're gonna
saute.
I'm gonna cook that for a little bit. Oops, that's the wrong one. Let's do this. All right, hold that. And a little bit, we're gonna put a little oil, and we are going to, I know it's a little early, but we're starting, we're a little hungry tonight, so we're gonna get going on these. So we're gonna do that. We're going to, we put like about a tablespoon of oil there, and then we are going to cook that, and then we're gonna add the vegetarian meat to it to season it a little bit. It's kind of sunny here.
Seasonings that aren't dry because
so we're gonna do some dry seasonings because we were gonna go to the grocery store and then we didn't get a chance to go. So we are going to add here's the
oregano.
Oregano is here. Here's the oregano. We're gonna put a little bit of oregano, and then I'll add it when we add the meat. Oregano, and you can just
oregano is here.
But there's oregano there too. Okay, we have lots of oregano, and we also have the fresh oregano too from the outside, so we can get a little bit of that. So I don't know if you hi Andy, how are you? How you're doing? Great. So here's my mom. She's trying to find some seasonings to season that veggie meat. And then what we're gonna do today, we got some plantains, and we are gonna try to do like a casserole with plantains and this meat. And this is a very typical dish from Puerto Rico. Pastelón is what we call it. So basically what it is, I'm gonna get back here because otherwise I think it's gonna cut me off my head. But this pastelón, you season it with sofrito, which is garlic, onions, cilantro, and green peppers. And you blend that and you add the sofrito. But we are completely out of sofrito, which makes Mom very, very anxious. And I didn't get to go to the grocery store to buy the ingredients to make more. But, hi Marcy, hi Diana. Thank you, Mercy. Yeah, thanks for my birthday wishes. I had a great birthday yesterday. A little tired today, but it's great. So let me show you the plantains here. So we have these plantains.
Right.
And the skins, could be a little bit dark, but they were not, because we cut them a little bit ago, they got darker, but they were more into like the yellow. But these plantains, as you know, you don't eat them like this. Okay, but you cook them. So we're gonna slice them longwise to then do the meat. It's kind of like a lasagna. You know, you layer it, but you layer the meat and you layer the plantains. Now in Puerto Rico, of course, they do it with beef. They season the beef with the sofrito. They add some olives and things like that to, you know, kind of like a Spanish Mediterranean taste. And then you slice these things, and then you do a layer of meat, a layer of these plantains, and then you can put some cheese on top of it if you want. But basically it's the meat and the plantains, and you do several layers. So we have these plantains, and that's what we're gonna try to do today. So mom here is being very busy. She cut that. So now she's seasoning the meat, and I am gonna give her some things that she might want for adding more seasonings to that. Let's close this, mom. So we don't. So she's, and this is the meat that we are going to season, okay? So this is something that we dehydrated. And this is great for when you want to have, you know, staples at home. It's great to have it handy, just like canned meats or any other things too. So this is just great staples to have around. So you can put that in, mom. Let me see if I have, oh, olives. I'm gonna get some olives because I think she's gonna love to put some olives on that. That is always, mom here, put some olives in there, mommy. Put some olives, okay, and the meat. So let's have the meat now, okay? You ready for the meat? Okay. So she likes to add the seasonings when she's cooking the onions. Smells really good. But I just add the seasonings after. Oh, that sun is really something. It was so cloudy today, and then it got really sunny. So let's have the meat now. That's all right. And again, when I say meat, you can add. So this is about 4 cups. Okay, and then add some olives. The olives, I think, you know, with the sofrito, I think it really adds a great flavor. And that way you don't even have to add any salt because you already have the olives. And I'm gonna do it, because it's just a few of us and I don't like too many leftovers, I'm gonna do it in this pan. Not very deep, so I'm just gonna do like maybe a couple of layers of the pastelons with the plantains and the meat. So it's very simple, really. It's just like a lasagna, but instead of noodles, you're using the plantain. Now, mom, you had said before that you think we should put them in the oven.
Yeah.
To get them softer.
Yeah.
All right. So she thinks we should put them in the oven. So I'm gonna grab a cutting board and I'm gonna try to cut them. I'm gonna try to cut them so that we can, then here, mommy, here's the cutting board. You wanna cut them, and then I'm gonna turn the oven on and we're gonna soften them. Usually I like to do them in the, I just turned the oven on. I like to do them in the air fryer because usually in Puerto Rico we fry them and we make them kind of soft so they go really nice into the, hi Amanda, hi Maria del Mar, and hi Rory, how are you? How are you doing great in school? So my mom is cutting now these plantains, and let me show you one here, like she's cutting them. So she's cutting them lengthwise, okay? So lengthwise we're gonna cut them, and then this way, this is one of them here. Okay, this is the first layer. And she's gonna continue cutting this. It's actually one of my favorite things when I go to Puerto Rico. I love these pastelones. It's, like I say, it's very rich because they make it with the beef and they add a lot of more fat to it. They fry the meat, they fry the plantains. So it's got a lot of calories. However, I think I like to do the plantains in the air fryer, but my mom wanted to do them today in the oven. So I'm like, okay, we'll do it in the oven, that's okay. So instead of frying them, you can either put them in the oven. You can also put them in the microwave as well if you want to, or in the air fryer, because I love putting this in the fryer because it gives it that texture of the frying without the oil. But the oven and the microwave do a great job about, softening
In the oven, you don't have to put
any oil or anything, right? In the oven, you don't have to put any oil as well, so it's great. So hi Salim, we're making pastelón. we're cooking here some veggie meat. So, and again, like I said, you can make these with any meat,
Mira, we
any
have to
ground.
put some tomato paste.
Tomato paste, I got tomato paste, so she's asking me tomato. She's dangerous with that knife. I have to be careful with her. I have a tomato paste here. I like tomato paste is something that we use a lot in Puerto Rican cooking. Asaline. Karina, hi, how are you? Oh, Saline, we love you. So here, we're gonna put the whole everything, huh, mommy? Whatever is left in here.
Not all.
Like
Half
that?
of it.
So probably about a couple of tablespoons
Yeah.
of these I'm gonna put. Okay, I'm gonna put this in here. How about if we add the olives now, mommy?
Okay.
The olives,
No, I have to cut them.
you have to cut them.
Yeah. Mira,
Okay.
put this in the.
So let me put that in a layer. This one or bigger? No, bigger, huh? Okay. So I'm going to layer them in here. Sorry, I disappeared for a little bit. Let me get back here. So I'm gonna put them in a layer here.
Ya se prendió.
Yeah. So here we are. I got one here. She's an expert about cutting this. Very, very thin. So very thin.
Not very thin. Somehow.
But not super thin, but thin enough that they get softer.
That I get a lot of them.
So you can get a lot of them, right? This is excellent. I love plantains. I mean, there's one thing that I love is the flavor, and especially there is some that are green skins in the plantains, but these ones are the little more mature, and they make the maduritos, like the Cubans make the
More
maduritos.
ripe.
But they need them to be very ripe. So the skin and the outside is gonna be pretty dark, but the inside is gonna be nice and ripe. These ones are medium, in between, not quite super ripe, but the skins were still a little yellow and not a lot of freckles. So that's it. I have space here for a little bit more, Mom.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna throw this on the oven for a little bit. Okay, and then we're gonna layer this. And my mom is just cutting them lengthwise. Doing really good there. Meanwhile, I'm gonna continue to stir this. Cooking here in the house is always like, you know, wherever we can find.
¿Lo puedo cortar más?
I think un poquito más. Just cut it a little thinner. We're gonna cut that one in two, okay? But I love these plantains. I can sometimes put a little garlic on top of it, but I'm just gonna leave it plain, and I'm not going to.
Good enough. Right?
Karina says, I know, tanto tiempo que no te he visto. It's been so long, and now Fancy's virtual, so hopefully we'll get to see us at one of those La Hidan reception or something virtual. I hope so. Oh, this is great. So Mom is cutting one more a little bit thinner. If you have a mandolin, maybe you can do it perfectly, perfect size.
Ah, se me cayó.
But that's okay. We can cut a little. So one got a little smaller, so I'm just gonna throw them in here too. It's okay because they're just gonna be layered. I mean, you know how sometimes when you have the lasagna noodles, sometimes they break, and you just kind of arrange them in there. So the same thing with this. I think the thinner, they'll cook faster. So I don't like to keep them too thick. This one might be a little thick.
No, but this is not thick.
But this is not thick. You know, this is nice and thin.
Yeah.
Nice and thin. So this
Este
is
es el
perfect.
más gordo.
Okay, este es el más. This is the one that is a little bit. Uno más gordito es este. So this one is a little bit thicker. I know my friends want me to do this class in Spanish, so I'm gonna do it in both. So maybe some people can learn a little. Hi Rodney. Some people can learn them a little Spanish too. So estos están un poquito gorditos, but los quieres más finitos. So you want them a little thinner, okay? Great. So I'm gonna put them in the oven for like, I don't know, what do you think, Mommy? 10 minutes?
No, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. I'm gonna put them for 15 minutes. And we're going to then continue the meat. I put it for 15 minutes, mommy. Okay?
Pero yo quiero ver la temperatura. Estuda low.
But it's still low. Yeah, it's only at 200 now, but it will go up very soon.
400.
All right.
400 they will be cooking.
Okay, then put them at 400. So do bake and bring it up to 400. So she says 400. So they cook fast and they brown and they get crispy quicker. So I'm gonna keep an eye on them to make sure they don't burn or anything. But anyways,
Now I'm going to flavor there.
she's gonna flavor more than meat. But that's the thing, you know, we like flavor. We like flavor in our food. So this is going to, we added tomato paste. I still think that we can add a little more tomato paste. Because we added 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna add one more tablespoon. Okay, 1 more tablespoon. And again, we will be putting sofrito in here. Hi, Patty. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Luis. So we're making pastelón, Puerto Rican pastelón, which is like a lasagna, but we make it with plantains. And not the green plantains, but the ones that are a little more mature. But they
Ripe plantain.
Ripe plantains, right. Not super ripe, because that would be a whole nother, that's more like for desserts or for maduritos, as Cubans call them, which is like a really, really ripe plantain, and they fry them and they cut them in little chunks. But this one, we want them just not super ripe so that we can cut them nicely and still have some texture. All right. So now we don't have any sofrito because we used them to make some arroz con gandules the other day, but we have some olives with the pimento. That's the one thing with Puerto Rican cooking. Most of the olives that we use are those Spanish olives with they're green with the pimento inside. And that's hi Vilka, oh my God, watching from Puerto Rico, making pastelón because I'm really, really craving pastelón from Puerto Rico. So we're cutting out some olives with pimentos inside. So these kind of olive here with the pimento inside, just kind of slicing them a little bit. And that's about, maybe we put about 1/3 of a cup. I love olives, so the more the better. So you can go 1/3 to half a cup, depending. And this is why I don't add any salt, because the olives have salt, and some of the tomato paste have salt too. So we want to make sure that when you add things that are salty, you don't really need to add any salt to your cooking. All right.
That's only have 25.
25, okay. 25 milligrams of sodium in the tomato paste. But again, it's a tiny bit of sodium, not much. But again, if you have the olives have a lot of sodium, the sofrito, sometimes people like to add salt to it. So then you can.
And you have 240 for.
So that has more. So let me put this
For 5 olives.
for 5 olives. So we use about 1/3 cup of olives. So we slice the olives, and now we're gonna put them in here. Like I said, I love lots of olives. Mommy, you can put more.
No more.
Okay, no more. Ella es la jefa. Whatever she wants. Ruben, my cousin, I love you, ma. We miss you. You guys were here for dinner one time. We miss you. Come back and visit. All right, so we're making pastelón, which is the Puerto Rican lasagna with plantains.
But this time
So what you think?
vegetarian.
But this is vegetarian, so we're not. This one doesn't have the meat. So I'm gonna get a couple of spoons here for us to try it.
Yes, yeah.
Just to make see.
This is on season. No tiene
No.
sal.
No,
No. That's sin sal.
that needs a lot of seasoning. So I'm gonna put 1 spoon here, 1 here for later.
Búscate el ajinomoto.
We're gonna sometimes, okay, because I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of my friends use. Oh, Mama, you got the okay. When we were little, we always used accent, and we found it here. And this is the ajinomoto. This is what really MSG is what really adds umami. Also, it's made from glutamate, which is found in mushrooms and tomatoes. Oh, that's adobo.
Adobo.
Yeah. So adobo, I made some adobo. So put some adobo in there. So, you know, adobo is basically, you know, salt, pepper, and some other spices. But we're going to add, I already added some of these to that. So I like to use these accent just a little bit, because this, if you don't want to add a lot of salt, this is a great way to do it. And there's a lot of myth about this umami seasoning, but let me assure you that you will be just fine, because this is actually comes from the from vegetables, and it's something that was developed to help people eat more vegetables by adding, you know, by enhancing the flavor, because glutamate enhances the flavor of food. And now MSG has a little bit of sodium, but not as much as if you were using just plain salt. But the glutamate comes from some of these vegetables, like I said, tomatoes and mushrooms. And this is why mushrooms add a lot of flavor when you add them to some of the food, because mushrooms have glutamate naturally. Okay, so this is why sometimes, you know, this is something that people were using in a long time ago. But again, we have to be careful too, because, you know, it has, this one does have some sodium, so tiny, but it has some sodium, so you have to, you know, always be moderate when you use it. But the glutamate really enhances the flavor of your food. It's pretty cool. I love that. Hi, Greta. This is great. So we're gonna add some of the adobo, and I can't recall the exact.
No, ya yo le eché un cuarto cucharadita.
Okay, so Mom already used, this is, I made my own adobo, and this is a little bit cumin. It has that salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, and maybe some oregano. I think I can put the recipe online. I'll put the recipe online. But and in fact, if you go to the MSG dish, that has the recipe. But I'll send the link so you guys can see the this seasoning, as well as other seasonings that I have developed, like in other sauces, because I think sauces and seasonings really is what enhances the flavor of your food, that makes you eat less fat, less sugar, and less salt. So with the right sauces, the right seasoning blends, you can have a lot of seasonings into your food, okay? So I made that, and I'll post that online, the exact recipe, because I don't have it like right off the top of my head. All right, so these, I also think that, let me see if I can try this a little bit. Again, we're just kind of, we usually would use more of, you know, when I cook, I kind of add some of the seasoning just to see, depending on the mood.
Todavía tiene sabor.
Needs a little more flavor.
And it more flavor.
You only added a quarter teaspoon, a little more of that.
But déjame.
So we're seasoning these. I'm gonna check on the plantains. The plantains are getting softer in the oven. They got 7 more minutes to go. Hi Fernando, hi Greta. This is great. No, mommy, not that. I will say add a little bit more of this adobo. So I'm gonna put another teaspoon. Mami ya. Mami, ¿por qué tienes 2 cucharas aquí? I don't know. She likes to cook with these two big things. I will add more. Mami. You're in the middle of that, Mami. You're in the middle of the thing. Anyways, hi John. Thanks for watching. Charla, Robin, how are you? We are here cooking. We're trying to add more flavor. I have some other seasoning blends, like I said, a little bit garlic, and this has a little bit of salt and pepper too. I'm gonna put out like a teaspoon of this as well. Okay, and I think this is gonna be just fine now. Mommy, taste it, because I just put more things. I really think I will add more onions, more onions, more garlic, and more olives, if anything. But I'm gonna listen to Mom, because you know she's the one that's cooking. Mommy, I will put a little bit more of the olives. Okay? It's okay. It's okay. Bob doesn't like the olives. We like them. He'll just pull them outside. I'm gonna put a little bit. I'm gonna try it now again, because I think that it's good now. That's good. I think it's good. Again, we put in more adobo.
Mira, allí hay cilantro, pero yo no sé si está
Like a
bueno.
couple of, this is, no mami, this is fine. You can put some of that.
Pero yo no sé si está bueno.
Sometimes
Le voy a quitar el de arriba.
sometimes the you can buy already sofrito made, recaito, and some of these seasonings. Hi, listen. Please come and be in our videos. It's great. So sometimes you can buy them. You can buy them in jars like this. Many brands. Again, we're not promoting anybody brands or anything. But sometimes the sofrito and recaito and some of these seasonings that we use, like sauces that we add to meat. And you can add them to any meat. And those are the seasonings that we use to really flavor the meat. Whether it be, you know, any kind, whether it be vegetarian or real meat or fish, seafood, anything like that is always with sofrito. And we have a little bit of that sofrito that is already store bought. And mom always likes to use her fresh sofrito, but I didn't go to the store today to buy her the ingredients to make more. But she's gonna use some of the jar because she feels that even after adding the adobo and the olives and the garlic and the onions, she still feels that it needs more flavor. And this is the thing with Latino cooking. Flavor is a big deal. We have 3 drawers of seasoning, okay? 3 drawers of seasoning. And there's always a need for more. And mom likes to just combine them all in there. But I think the adobo and the sofritos really, you know, adds a really of flavor because it's a sauce. It's a fresh sauce that you're blending and really adds a lot of the flavor. So, how is that, mom? Good? Good, good? So you can start layering if you're...
Todavía no lo he probado, pruébalo tú.
Pero I have my own spoon here. Let's see.
Bien, es que yo pruebo aquí, mija.
So she likes to try taste it with her hand. But I think, let's see.
No?
I think that's fine. That's good. That's good. I like things kind of simple, a little more simple. But my mom really likes to have it very seasoned. Lots of flavor, lots of flavor. And this is why sometimes, you know, we really, when you think that the Hispanics, here's so far what we have here, okay? This is what we have. So it's got the olives, the adobo, some sofrito that she found in the refrigerator that was already store-bought, what it will do, and a little bit of the salt, pepper, and my adobo. Because the adobo already has the Ajinomoto. It's got the umami seasoning, as well as the oregano, the cumin, the salt, and pepper, and all that. So very little salt in here, just, you know, combination with more seasonings. And again, we did the onions and the garlic, sauteed them before we added this veggie meat. All right?
I'm going to add a little of nutritional yeast.
Mommy, I think you adding too many things, but don't you think you're adding too many things? I think this is fine the way it is.
But I like it.
Okay, she wants to add some nutritional yeast. We'll go with whatever she wants. And then I want to start layering this already. So I put a little bit of oil in the pan.
Sí.
Okay. So like I said, I have 3 drawers of seasoning, and it's never enough for all the things that we cook every day. So I'm gonna put a tiny bit of not even a teaspoon of oil, and then so that things don't get too don't get stuck in there. And I have a brush. Sometimes the thing about, you know, I used to do my cooking with so we're making pastelón, Puerto Rican pastelón. So it's like a lasagna, but we're making it with the veggie meat and with plantains instead of pasta. All right? It's delicious. It's my favorite. But my mom sometimes add too many things, and sometimes it's like, you know, I like things a little more simple. But this is old school Puerto Rican cooking. So I'm just gonna brush the oil here a little bit in the pan. And then, Mommy, I want you to start putting the meat in here because we're hungry already. We don't have time to season it too much, okay? This is good. But I know that she likes to put a lot of the sofrito. Mommy, you can put more sofrito if you want.
Hey, my plantain.
It's good. They're looking good. Look. How are they?
Perfect. Déjame virar uno.
With the spatula. When there's a spatula, it's good. Okay. All right. I'll show you this again. We're just seasoning the meat here to put in the plantains. Put it with the plantains and make that layer pastelón, which is like a Puerto Rican lasagna. All right. So should we do a layer of plantains first? I used to do these a long time ago.
Pon un chipito de aceite.
Ya lo puse, mamá.
Ya.
Ya lo puse el aceite.
Okay.
Let me turn this off. Okay, so let me show you the plantains out of the oven. All right. I know, Lisette, you like the pastelón, ¿verdad? So we're trying to make it as Puerto Rican as we can. So this is after the oven. So they're just soft. And now we're going to layer on the pan, on this pan, we're going to layer like a lasagna. Can you see it here? I'm going to probably try to move this a little bit here. Okay, how's that? You see us better? All right. Because we like to move. Okay, mommy, so should we put the meat first or the
plantain.
plantains first?
Vamos a echar un poquito de la carne. Todavía no me tiene ni...
It's okay, mommy. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, put it in the bottom. Put some in the bottom. So I'm gonna show them. We had technical difficulties. The phone. Hi, Maria Ivonne, my prima querida. The phone is on a tripod and the tripod failed. All right, so how is this? You see us okay? You can see us good? Okay, so I'm gonna show you. We did the first layer of meat. I think I could use more, no? So she started with the meat. You know, I'm following instructions. I usually will try to get a recipe, but I'm gonna follow her because she's very good and she's done this many times. I have done this before, but many years ago, and I have a craving for it, so I want to make pastelón. Okay. All right. So we're gonna put. So we got a layer of meat, and now we're gonna put a layer of the plantains. And you see here a little bit. So we're gonna do like long ways. Okay. I mean, they're not gonna cover it completely because, you know, these are very thin, but I'm gonna cover with maybe 3 of them.
No more. 4.
4?
Yeah.
But let's do several layers, no? Don't you wanna do several layers?
No.
When I am also baking something, I like to use the silicone. So here is, let me show you. Here I have 3. She feels that we should add 1 more. Yeah. Hi, Poeta. Yeah, she feels that we should add a few more. So we're making pastelón a la Gloria. Gloria style. So you think 1 more? Yeah. Should we do 1 more? Okay. So we're going to put 1 more here. Okay, so she feels that we should add 4. So this is 4, okay? All right, so we're gonna layer 1 more of the meat. I feel like we should be putting some sauce or something.
Yeah, the sauce is
so here. What kind of sauce?
The one that you have here.
But like Italian sauce?
Yeah.
I feel like it should be a different kind of sauce. No? Pero mami, those are Italian sauce. That's not gonna go with sofrito. But what else? How you make it? I forgot how to make it.
Yo la hago con la carne. Entonces después que le echo.
Bueno, I'm gonna add another layer of the meat. I have a feeling a friend of mine makes this all the time, and it's always very. It's kind of like, you know, like a lasagna. Basically, very. It does stay it stays kind of, you know, maybe you should put cheese
Tenemos
too. Get some
tenemos
cheese.
que poner un huevo batido encima.
Sí.
Sí, para que se una bien.
Okay, but that one we should have put it in the meat then.
No, en la meat. Así.
All right. So I think I'm gonna put in. So we put another layer of meat. Should we bring some cheese? And I always so let me put another layer of the. So here we put another layer of the meat.
Espera que todavía no termino.
Okay, we put another layer of the meat. And then we're gonna put another layer of the plantains. Okay, so I'll do another layer of the plantains. So this is very simple. I think the trick is to make sure that you have enough plantains, lots of plantains, because you know that combination of the salty meat with the plantains that are a little bit on the sweet side, it's divine. I love it. All right, here we go. What else, mommy? You want to put them all? Okay, so she wants to put all the rest that are here. I am going to like that. Another one. I'll show you guys how we're doing. Okay.
Vamos a ponerle la salsa.
Okay, so here is the other layer, and we use all the plantains that we baked. And basically we bake them just to make them softer. ¿Qué más, mami?
Ahora vamos a ponerle la salsa y quesito.
Okay. I'm gonna get some cheese. And she says to use, mommy, there's nothing in the oven right now except that we're gonna use it for. We're gonna put everything back in the oven. She wants to put some cheese and a little bit of sauce. Usually this meat, because it's made with either, you know, in Puerto Rico they make it with pork, they make it with beef, or a combination of pork and beef, but we're making it with a vegetarian meat. But you can, and then, you know, beef and pork, those meats usually have the fat. They use some of that fat to make it more saucy. And that's why you don't have to add any sauce, basically, when you're doing it al pastelón with real meat. But because we're doing it with a vegetarian meat crumbles, then this is why it's a little bit on the dry side. And she wants to add tomato sauce. Hi, Monica. Hi, Jadiel. Abrazos y besos. Lo voy a decir también en español. I'm going to say it also in Spanish. Este pastelón, por lo general en Puerto Rico lo hacen, típicamente es con carne de cerdo o carne de res. Pero hoy esto lo estamos haciendo con carne vegetal.
Yo nunca lo comí.
Y esta carne vegetal es un poquito seca, así que hay que darle un poquito más de líquido. Tú la puedes freír, pero como yo no le pongo mucho aceite, I don't put a lot of oil, then it makes it a little bit dry on the dry side. But I think it's fine because you cut it. She said that we should have added an egg, and I think that was another key. We should have maybe add an egg. No. We should have added an egg maybe to make it a little more. Hi, Monica Ramos. Mami, say hola to the people. Say hi.
Hello.
Go a little bit back so the head is not caught. Anyways, well, we're gonna add a little bit. We're just gonna add a sprinkle. Where's the cheese, Mom? Bring me the cheese. We're gonna sprinkle some cheese, and I think without her looking, I'm gonna. Mommy, that's too late to add the eggs.
¿Ah?
No, you don't think it's too late to add the egg?
No, pero tú solo puedes poner arriba, batidito.
Okay, so she thinks that to add more moist to these, we're gonna actually take an egg, 1 or 2 eggs.
Well, it depends. Put one first.
Okay.
Yo creo que se van los dos, pero.
Maybe we'll do. Maybe we'll put 2 eggs, perhaps. So I'm gonna mix this. I'm gonna mix 2 eggs. Okay, so I have 2 eggs here.
Le ponemos de este.
I am going to mix it up. Yeah, let's put that one is perfect. So we're gonna add a little bit of the cheddar cheese, but I am going to beat a couple of eggs. Open that up, and we're just gonna put it in on top of it. Okay, see how that works. Again, I should have really looked at a recipe, but you know how all people, the old-fashioned way to look at recipe is to make a recipe is just to do it from their head. Hi, Alicia. How are ya? So, mami, así, do we put any milk? ¿Le añadimos un poquito de leche?
Ahora échale, mira, ponle con el de este, mira.
What is it? What is it you're looking for? Aquí tengo, mira, aquí lo tengo.
No, pero el otro, entonces,
oh, no, but I'm just gonna put like this, mira. I'm basically going to pour it over this. She's messing up with my cutler, with all my stuff. All right, so I put the egg on top of it, and now let's put the cheese, Mom. Yeah, 2 eggs. So now we're gonna sprinkle the cheese. I love cheese, and I think this is gonna be great. Again, this is just an invention of her recipe of the pastelón modification. Like I say, in Puerto Rico, that we use meat so that it has a little more juicy.
People mash the plantains, but I didn't have enough
some
for
people
mashing.
mash the plantain, but we only had 2, so we figured that we maybe slice them better. I like them sliced because I like the big chunks of the plantains. So here we go. We're gonna put it in the oven, and then I'll show you what it looks like in a picture later. All right, so what do you think? Wonderful to see you too, Alicia. Mommy, say goodbye here.
Bye, my dear.
Say goodbye. Here's our pastelón. And I will show you and tell you what it tastes like. We're excited. Tune in for more this week, okay? We'll try to make another recipe tomorrow, maybe Friday too, perhaps. So tune in, and we'll try to tell you when we're coming up. But you know how it is when she wants to cook, it's kind of like, okay, it's now, and the stoves are on, and the pots are coming up, and it's time to cook. All right, thanks for tuning in. We love you. Bye.